So what the origins of Rebel
Sure.
Food?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So I was in distribution for about 15, 20 years.
Okay.
So including beverage,
In San Antonio primarily?
all of Texas.
All right.
Worked for beverage distributor for a good little while. But I'm culinary trained. I was like a first graduating class of the CIA here.
All right.
And then I went into...
That's at the Pearl?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was actually the first one with a CIA jacket. Actually started as a CFA, and then we got to graduate after a very long, terrible couple years of being chastised by master chefs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had to vet themselves, so they sent like all of these people down from Hyde Park and everywhere
Yeah.
to vet the school, and us were the guinea pigs. And
Really?
There was like 7 of my 8 classes that I took that first year. 7 of them was a certified master chef in that field.
What years was this?
It's like 07, 08.
So before like the kind of movement towards like a more sustainable way of kitchen life,
Yeah.
like there was still there the trickle off of the glamorizing of like the throwing of pots and
There's a little bit of that.
cursing. Yeah.
I've seen some pork chops being thrown at people's faces
Yeah.
before.
I'll take a pork chop. It's fine.
Yeah, when it's raw and you're wearing glasses. But so I did some distribution for a while. Did beverage, realized like that is cutthroat industry. I'm not trying to be that shady. I got recruited into a company out of Houston, but they did regional. They were a local
Houston?
company of Houston.
Hoisin sauce?
What did they say? Houston?
Houston. Okay. No.
Yeah, I was in Houston. And then, but that was like kind of like a broadliner kind of thing. It was a regional specialty thing. But fast forward, I started working for a local rancher who was going to go into a distribution model. And they had no idea what they were doing.
By working for a local rancher, you mean like on the ranch?
Yeah, they were rearing the cattle, doing the husbandry and all that stuff. My job was to build their distribution channels. So
Okay.
direct instead of selling to a wholesaler. They had been harvesting their cattle and selling it to distributors, but they all like COVID and the pandemic brought a lot of issues to light.
So during that time, because that's not that long ago, was the thought in your heads already percolating the Rebel Food?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was at Martin Foods and I was looking at it like, okay, maybe this isn't what I'm meant for, right? Like this is kind of run of the mill. And so when we started looking at bringing in, so we had a Red Water program through there, and like I helped champion that. And then the beef program that we brought in was a local beef program, helped to champion those things. But there wasn't any infrastructure in there to support it because, that's a choice in a salesman. Salesman's going to have an easy choice of buying exactly what the customer has already or making the hard conversation to explain why this is better.
Yeah.
So the whole point of that is like the supply chain for local products that are most of the time either cleaner or better or superior and they're right in your backyard. They're hard to get to the plate.
Yeah.
It's really hard unless you have there's a couple people already doing it, like Farmhouse and places like that take the local goods and put it into local hands. And so I was already kind of realized that there's a hole there. There needs to be some sort of like distributor co-op where you can go and collect.
You're thinking this before.
Yeah, this was probably 2016 to 18.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you recall, but I will bring it up when Steph was on here from Farmhouse. She was talking about how, and this still blows my mind. I feel like it needs to be reiterated over and over that like 1% of the people in Austin, where there's all this talk about shop local, buy local. That's a lot of talk.
I listened to that and I was like, yeah. That's accurate.
That is insane. I mean, it still shocks me, but seeing that early on and then, sparking your own company is kind of cool because there is a need for it. And
Sure.
It's right in your backyard.
And it's high quality goods out there. You just don't know. I mean, even from like honeys to tortillas it's all out there.
Yeah.
It's just they have barriers to market and there's a lot of them.
Right.
And it's most of it.
And it's how we're going to stay alive.
It really is.
I mean, not physically, but how the economy will stay alive,
Especially locally, right? Sorry. So once I was in the process